What's up, my people? Welcome to Vertical Football. Welcome to another episode of 5 Things We Learned. Manchester United 2, Everton 2, the last preseason game in the United States. Guys, a lot of talking points. I think you can hear from my voice, I'm not happy about the game, and I know you are not happy also. A lot of, whatever could go wrong went wrong today in the game. I felt in some parts that is as if we are taking one step forward and two steps backward. Yes, it's just a game. It's just one game, but it shouldn't go that bad. So guys, a lot of talking points. So let's jump right into it. The 5 things we learned. I think I have a lot of things that went wrong. My notes that I was jotting down things during the game, my note was filled up. Totally filled up. So I even have more than 5 things. And I know you guys also know that it should be more than 5 things. But I'll quickly touch these various issues. But before I do that, let me quickly just go to the debut. The first time we are seeing MBEUMO play a game for Manchester United. And for the 5 minutes, good run out for him. So I feel there are a lot of things I saw about MBEUMO in this game that I must give praise to. First of all, MBEUMO's link up. I think everybody saw it. First touch, quick link up, good scanning to understand his surroundings. And when the ball came, it doesn't have to control. Quick link up. I think that was good. Not just the link up alone, but also his ability when he was spearheading the press. I think he did very well. I think many times in Manchester United, you see players, whenever they want to spearhead the press, they are always running. Like Højlund, Bruno, even what do you call it? We've seen players like that, Garnacho, always running. But now we are seeing, from the 45 minutes we saw from MBEUMO, I know it's too small of a time to read into it, but from the 45 minutes, he was much more smarter in how he pressed. In terms of, he was more concerned about the spaces. So what he was doing was that he was blocking and closing up lines of play. Was cutting passing lanes so that the opposition do not have those passing lanes to play. And I thought it was really, really nice. And I felt that we should have seen more of him if the midfield actually did what we expected them to do. So which brings me to my second point, Manchester United's midfield. This is, for years, I feel that we have not so much done enough in our midfield in terms of investment as a club. Yeah, I know the likes of Pogba was bought. We bought a lot of average and mediocre players in that midfield. And I think today is showing again. It's showing clearly again. Now, before I talk about, let me first of all talk about the fact that we are playing a very, very physical Everton side, which whenever the more physical a team is, the best way to play them is to go technical. So if a team is physical, you don't, it's a mistake to try and use the same strength, physique against them when they are more physical than you. You use your brains. And that's the issue I have. Then now, in the sense of, we have a lot of technical players in our team. Right from Denioro, Ahmad, MBEUMO, Kobe Mainoo, we should be able to use our technique and our brains to play this game. Don't get into a situation where you have to now use your physique against someone that is more powerful than you. It's already a lost battle. And you see that Everton wanted it to be a physical game because they know that that's their strength. And what they did do was that in the first half particularly, they went man-to-man in marking, especially in the midfield. And our midfielders, when you see that it's man-to-man, your coach doesn't have to tell you that when it's man-to-man against a physical side, you don't hold on to the ball too much. This is a very simple thing. You don't hold on to the ball too much. When you are giving the ball, before the ball comes to you, quick passes. Use your technique and your brains to play through them. This is what Manchester City will do against an Everton side. But instead, the likes of Kobe Mainoo would hold on to the ball too much. The likes of UGARTE is even a different case. I don't know how a Manchester United player, how we can praise you. We praise you 80%. And the next game, you are coming back to 20. I feel UGARTE should not be spared tonight. If Manchester United is actually very serious, if Ruben Amorim is very serious, you are a Manchester United midfielder. You are the only defensive midfielder we have. You cannot afford to play 18% last game and 20%. No, I think it should not be spared. You can't spare such a, when I saw him coming out, I know, yes, for the cameras, but indoor, if I was in the dressing room. I will not spare my Ugarte. That was a terrible performance. Crazy, terrible performance on all sides. On all sides. Everything Ugarte did today was rubbish. In terms of couldn't mark, you know, couldn't play first line play from the defense to even turn and face the major play. A lot of things were just wrong. And I feel it's not just for when a player is playing 80% and automatically now decreasing to 20%, then there is something wrong with his preparation. That's where I see it. I don't think Ugarte was prepared to play this game. Yes, he might be physically prepared, but he was not mentally prepared. At one point, Ugarte was like an headless chicken in the middle of the park. When Manchester United, the most important position in terms of controlling the tempo of the game and dictating play, the defensive midfielder, and your defensive midfielder is running like a headless chicken in the center of the park, then what else do you expect? That vibe, that energy spread through the team. Everybody was now playing like headless chicken. Even the people they were bringing in, it's terrible. I feel Mino Ugarte should not be spared. I know Amorim has his own style of coaching. You know, I know he has his own style of coaching. Maybe he doesn't want to shout there, but I know there are some coaches that will shout on him there. You cannot be this bad. And if you are this bad, you should not be let to go scot-free. I think he needs to hear the word of his life. If that's the best way to describe it, you shouldn't be spared. You are a Manchester United player. You should not. You can have bad days. I'm not saying you cannot have bad days, but your bad day shouldn't be this bad. Mino Ugarte was terrible today. So I'm sorry I'm emotional, but this is 2 weeks to the season, and we're having this kind of stupid performance. Stupid performance against a team we thought was even the least team we're going to play in the United States. And we're having this rubbish performance. So I feel a lot of issues in terms of, let me mention another person, Bruno Fernandes. 3 games in the US, 3 stupid games from Bruno Fernandes. Incomplete passes. I want to say this, if Bruno Fernandes can just focus on his game and stop complaining, he will be a much better player. The mental capacity needed to play his own game, he's using half of it to complain. Focus on irrelevant things. Complain about every single thing. You don't have the mental space to calm down, play your game. Incomplete passes, wrong decisions on the ball. I saw him today playing the kind of football they played under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Meaningless passes, putting other players to suffer, to run deadly and dooming runs. Terrible. Lastly, I'm very emotional because I feel this is rubbish. This is a very terrible game. 2 weeks before the season. Yeah, I know you can get better next game, but the coach should not let this slide. This was terrible on all measures. Diogo Dalot, another terrible player. Terrible performance today. Now, I know Diogo Dalot should not be totally blamed because the coach feels he can play on the left-hand side of the wing back position. So the left wing back. But if the coach asks you to play there and I see you can play there because you're a wing back and maybe when you were in Porto, you were versatile. Now, and you are asked to play there, good and fine. Please, Diogo Dalot, at least with your football education, you were taught when you are playing that position and you are not a left back, you are a left wing back. First of all, what you should understand is the leg to which you will receive pass is very, very important. You cannot be playing, you are a predominantly right player. You cannot be in the left wing back position and the first leg that touches the ball when you want to progress is your right. And they will close you down. Once they close you down, because you have received it with your right, you would have to just turn back and pass back to the defense. And also, look sure, the kind of balls you were even giving Diogo Dalot for him to progress was terrible. That means it shows us that if Dogu, God forbid, gets injured, we don't have any player in that team that can do that job in that left wing back. We don't have. Because now we tried you there and we're not seeing results. We're not seeing results. There was no progression in that angle at all. When the ball comes to you, he reminded me of Ashley Young. Once it comes to him, he's passing it back. No threat at all. In a place that was a predominantly threat. And we saw that in the second half when Dogu came in, because Dogu is left when he receives on his left. That's why there are certain positions that some coaches will mandate that it's a left footer that plays that position, not just any player. And I feel Diogo Dalot needs to improve on his, ability to receive the ball and also tell the person that's passing the ball to him, e.g., Luke Shaw, the way the ball should be delivered to him is very, very important. Very, very. I feel this game was a terrible game. I think you guys know understand. It was very, very terrible game. Very terrible game. 2 weeks before the season. 2 weeks before the season. I will be looking forward to see the game against Fiorentina. But I feel it was very, very terrible. Very terrible. Everybody was bad. I feel even the people that we can say were not bad, maybe the likes of Kuma, MBEUMO, Ahmad, Yoru, they were quite decent. Maguire was quite decent. Bayindale, terrible. I feel Manchester United, sometimes when you feel we are on the right track, I know it's part of the process. It goes up, it goes down, but it shouldn't go this down. This is a terrible performance. Players running like headless chickens. Players running without, like they were not mentally prepared for this game. My last message, because I don't want to waste time, is the coach should not let this slide. This thing should not slide. You can't play this bad and just get, hey guys, let's go next match. No. He should not let it slide. Guys, thank you very much for sticking with me. This is my opinion on I know a lot of points really, but I had to just forget some, and because I know the main is just that it was a bad game. So guys, let me have your opinion on this game. What do you think about this match? Please drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and most importantly, please share this video to your loved ones and fellow fans. Until I see you next time. Bye.